Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kirsten from Words and Whimsy, and this is the first in a two-part series where I'm going to show you how to design a t-shirt and get this design using Canva. It's free, it's easy, and yes, you can make some really awesome designs for your t-shirts in Canva. So let's jump into the computer and I'll show you how. Alright, so here we are on my Canva dashboard. Now I use Canva for literally every single thing. I use it every day. I've been using it for years. So if you're not familiar with Canva, I do want you to just take a few minutes and peruse the dashboard and see everything that is possible. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I create designs for my shirts in Canva, and I'm going to walk you through a few of the features that Canva has. Now, a quick little heads up, I have a paid plan with Canva because I use it for literally everything. I pay $12.99 a month for the use of Canva, and that allows me to do some things that you may not be able to do on the free version, so I just want you to keep that in mind. So one of the things that I do want to point out is over here on the left-hand side, you'll see Brand Kit. Now, this is something that is a paid feature. So as you can see, there are logos in here. There's my Words and Whimsy logo. I do work for my church, so I'm able to upload all of the logos that I use regularly, and I have them ready to go. Also, I'm able to have my brand colors in here. This is a really great feature because I don't have to remember hex codes or constantly be looking for colors to match something. I have all of my branded colors right here ready to go. And finally, I also have brand fonts and uploaded fonts. So with the paid version, you can upload up to 100 fonts. I have quite an obsession with fonts, as you can see. So there are a lot of them uploaded in here. But Canva already gives you hundreds of free fonts to start with. So you can use the free stuff. You don't have to use, you don't have to upload new stuff if you don't want to. But again, I have the paid version, so I use all the features. So when you are on the home screen for Canva, the first thing that you're going to see are recommended template sizes. There's tons of them, and you can even filter them based on your needs. So you'll notice that there's not a Supacolor template, so we're going to have to create our own, which is easy to do. But let's just start very simply, and we're going to just go right here to the Instagram post that's square, and we're going to click on that to create a blank document. Now, the reason that I start with square blank templates when I am initially starting my design is because I'm not usually sure at the very beginning of my design process if the image is going to end up being horizontal, vertical, round, whatever. So a square template allows me to do really any size graphic that I want, and then I can narrow that down and crop it whenever I get finished with it. So over here on the left-hand side, there's a lot of different tools. You can see that there are some recommended templates if you're making an Instagram post. Here are your uploads. Anytime you upload an image, this is where they're going to live. You can also upload videos and audio. There's photos. These are free photos, stock photos that you can use that are already built into Canva. Elements are literally every design element imaginable, which we'll look at in a few minutes. Text, this is something else we're going to use quite a bit, and I'll show you more of that in a minute. There are styles, which I rarely ever touch, but this is where your brand colors are and everything like that if you want to use that. There's some audio in here, videos that are already up. So there's a lot of stock stuff that you can use. Backgrounds if you're making something that you need a background for, and your folders. So your folders are where you can create things. So the logos that I put in my brand kit, they're right here in the logos folder, so I can grab those really quickly. And there's a lot of other folders that I've made with different things that I've used in the past. So the design that I'm going to make is a lyric from a song by Hillsong United called Good Grace. It's been in my head for a while, so I want to create some artwork that I can put on a t-shirt that has the lyric on there. Okay, so I'm going to start with text, and I'm just going to click on the first text that's up here because I'm going to change it. And I'm just going to stretch this out so I can see what I'm doing. So, like I said, I know that the main part of my design is going to be the name of Jesus. So I'm going to start by just typing Jesus. and I'm going to click on Jesus, and I'm going to go right here at the top, and this is going to open all of my fonts. So it shows me at the top what I've recently used. It has my brand fonts that I've saved in my brand kit, and those are the ones that I use for my church all the time, so they're up front. And then all of my uploaded fonts come up. We'll get to the bottom of those, and I'll show you down here. There's popular fonts. These are the ones that are already inside of Canva, so you can absolutely choose from any of those. You can also go into the search box, and so, for example, I know that I want the feel of this design to be kind of retro or vintage or whatever, so you can literally type that. Retro, it'll give you a bunch of different fonts to choose from. Vintage, same thing. You can type script, you can type simple, you can type you can type whatever. And when you type this stuff in, it pulls up your uploaded fonts and the free ones that are available in Canva. If you see this little crown, it says as a Canva Pro user, you can use this font for free. If you do not have a paid Canva account, you're not going to be able to use those unless you pay per element. And there are a lot of different design elements in Canva that you can pay for per use. So you don't have to pay a monthly fee just to use them. You can just buy them as you're using them. So for this one, I'm going to use my Vintage Party font. I really like the look of this font, and I know that that's what I'm going for with the look of this design. So I'm going to highlight that, so I've got the font that I want, and then right here at the very top, you can click on that and change the text color. So for me, I want this to be kind of a brown color, so something like that looks really good for me. And I want to give it a shadow effect. So I'm going to click on effects right here at the top, and you can see there's several different things to choose from. And so I'm going to click on shadow, and then it allows me to change the color of the shadow. Now, a quick note about this that I want to be very clear about. When you are submitting a design to Heat Transfer Warehouse that is going to become a Supacolor Wearable Transfer, or any kind of Supacolor transfer, you cannot submit it with the shadow effect as it comes out in Canva. The reason why is it's going to end up being too transparent for them to print, but there is a workaround because I do want that shadow effect in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the shadow effect on this top layer, this brown layer, and I'm going to go right up here to the top, and you see where it says duplicate? I'm going to click on that, and that gives me another name of Jesus with the shadow effect. So I'm going to keep that right there, click on effects, and I'm going to turn off the shadow of that one. I'm going to change the color to a peachy color that I want, get it something similar to what I have as the shadow of the brown name of Jesus. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is drag this over, and I'm going to line it up as close as I can with the shadow. And you can make this bigger if you need to be able to see that. So I'm going to line it up with the shadow effect like that, and then go into position and send it to the back. Okay, so it looks darker now because there's two layers of a shadow basically. So then we can click back on this top layer, the brown layer, and we can go into effects and turn off the shadow. So now we have two layers, but they're both clear enough and thick enough, I guess is the word, that when the Supacolor transfers are being made, they'll be able to read all of that and print all of that without having the actual shadow effect in Canva. So I hope that made sense. Now, because I have this situated exactly how I want it, I'm going to select both of these layers, and I'm going to go right here to group and make it one piece. So that way if I resize this or move it, it all moves together, and I don't have to worry about those layers coming apart and having to line them back up. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out so I can keep working on this design. So I have the main part of this. Now I know that I want the rest of the lyrics in here, so again I'm going to click on any of the fonts, and I'm going to do the chorus of this song in two parts. So the first part is clean hands, pure hearts, okay? And I don't like that font, so we're going to work on that. So click on that, and we're going to go back to our fonts over here. And I know that I have one that I want to use. that is called Butler. I really like how that looks together. This is one that I purchased, I think from Creative Market. So I want this to be one line. I don't want it to be two lines like this. So what I'm going to do is stretch this out until it's one line and then shrink it. So did you see that? Like you can go here on the left or the right and you can squeeze it to make it multiple lines. And then you can take the corners and make it bigger or smaller. Okay, so that's how I'm doing that. I'm going to stretch this out to where it's one line and then I can stretch it to fit. Okay, so that's the top layer. I'm going to go and duplicate this and put it at the bottom. And the second part of this is good grace, good God. Okay? And I want this and the other words to be the same brown as the name of Jesus. Okay, so we're just going to change those. So I want to make this kind of a circular effect. So I'm going to make Jesus a little bit bigger. And I'm going to take and click on Clean Hands, Pure Heart, and we're going to go back into Effects, and there's a curve feature. You see that? So it makes it a circle. And you can drag this little toggle here to change the curve to fit whatever you want it to look like. Okay, so that's something like what I want. All right. You want to make sure that your design's not hanging off the edge here too, because it'll get cut off in printing. So now that I kind of have this the way that I want it, hold on, let me fix just a little bit, tweak it just a little bit there. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with that. So what I am going to do now, there's this hole right here and I want to put something in it. So I'm going to go to Elements. And this is where literally millions of design elements live. And you can just type anything you want. I personally like looking at hand-drawn shapes and stars and things because it matches my aesthetic a little bit more. So when you type in hand-drawn star, this is what comes up. I also like looking at boho star. That's more like what I'm looking for. So I'm going to click on this one. I like the look of this one. I'll use the flip tool and flip it that way and that way. I like the small one on top. Okay, so we're just going to keep playing with this and get it the way that we want it. So I'm going to put that right there. And I like the peach that's the second layer of Jesus. So I'm going to go up here and it saved that color for me. So I can just click on it. There we go. All right, so I like how that turned out. I think it looks really good. Now that I have the design the way that I want it, I want to make it one image so that it doesn't move, it doesn't change. So I want to group all of this together. One little thing, we have already grouped both layers of Jesus together, so we have to go ungroup that, and then we're going to highlight everything and click group. So now it's one image, right? We can move it, we can change it, resize it, whatever. It's all one image. Okay, so now that we have our design finished, we're going to have to figure out exactly how big we need it to fit our shirt. And there are a few ways that we're going to have to go about doing that. The first thing that you need to look at is the template sizes for Supacolor Wearable Transfers. Okay, so on the Heat Transfer Warehouse, all of this is linked in the description below. So when you go to the Supacolor Wearables Screen Print Transfer, these are the template sizes that are available. Okay, now our design is more horizontal than it is vertical. And I want it to fit across the chest of a shirt, like be the main chest design of the shirt. So based on these, it's probably going to end up being something like this. So this shows you it can be 8.3 by 11.7. So it can be horizontal or vertical with this template size. So what we're going to do, 8.3 by 11.7, okay? What we're going to do is go back to our design. And right here at the top, we're going to click on Resize, and we're going to change this to inches, and we're going to do 8.3, 11.7. That's the template size. And we're just going to click resize. So as you can see, that gives us a vertical design and we want a horizontal. So we can click on resize again. Again, change it to inches. And then we just do 11.7 by 8.3, resize. There we go. So now what we can do is just stretch this design to fit that template. Okay, so you can see how that fits really nicely on there. All right, now when you're ordering this from Heat Transfer Warehouse, you're going to select your template size, so that's important to know, but you're also going to have the size of your design, which is a little bit different. So let me show you how you find that. So back here on our design, here we have our full design on the template. So we know our template size, right? Our template size is 11.7 by 8.3. So the design size, what you're going to do is grab one corner, and as you drag this, do you see the black box that pops up on the bottom right-hand side by my mouse? Those are the dimensions of your artwork. Okay, so as I drag it, you can see that they're changing and it shows you width and height. So this shows me that the width is 9.9 and the height is 8.2. So what I'm going to do is take that up here where the name of my design is, and I'm going to name this Good Grace 9.9 by 8.2. I put it up there in the name so when I download it, it's in the file name and I don't have to think about it again. I know exactly how big this is going to be. So that's how you figure out the size of your design in Canva. Now you want to make sure that this is going to fit your shirt as well. So I highly recommend that you create a template for your design. You can use a blank piece of paper. You can use one of the transfer sheets from another Supacolor design that you've used in the past or whatever, and you can cut it to size. So just measure your shirt, make sure this design makes sense. And when you're ready to go, you need to prep this design to send it to Heat Transfer Warehouse. So when you are sending this, it tells you right here, file types are, and it's all of these file types. So you are going to download this design as a PNG file with a transparent background. And I also recommend in Canva that you make it larger than what it is initially. So I like to make it huge because it needs to be 300 DPI or bigger. Okay? So again, PNG file, transparent background, and then make it larger. And we're going to download this to our computer, and I'll show you how to check to make sure that it's the proper DPI. Here is our design. So we're going to double click on that and open it up. Okay, so it's a transparent background as you can see. And so we've got our design. Again, this is a great opportunity to just make sure that it looks how you want it to look. You might even want to print it out on a piece of paper and look at it. If it's a really detailed design, make sure everything's spelled correctly, all of that, because once you submit it to Heat Transfer Warehouse, they're going to print it just like you send it. So that's not the time to fix any errors. You want to do that here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go click Tools. This is on a Mac. If you have a PC, it might be a little bit different, but at the top, you can't really see it. It's off the screen, but you're going to click Show Inspector. And this tells me my image DPI is 342. So it's bigger than 300 DPI. It's good. It tells me my image size, all of that. It's a PNG. And then again, my file name has my artwork dimensions in it. So I am able to submit this design to Heat Transfer Warehouse to order. So I have my template chosen. I choose my file right there. And I'm going to tell them exactly what kind of garment, color, and everything I'm going to need. So this I would put, for mine, I would put Comfort Colors, 1717. And then I want it on ivory and bay. You're going to leave the full color down there. And we know based on our artwork, right, 9.9 by 8.2. So we can put that here. And if you have any other comments, if this is your very first time ordering a Supacolor Wearable Transfer, you might want to put in the comments, you know, art team, please check design or something like that. Let them know this is your first order, whatever. And then you just check the boxes that you have a 5-day cancellation, blah, 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 production time. If this is a reorder, no. If it is, you say yes and what your order number was. And then you submit it. You just add it to your cart. Now, when you order Supacolor transfers, you have to order a minimum of 20, but you can order 21, 22, however many. But it is a minimum of 20. So you will get 20 of that design or more. And then you just add it to your cart and check out, and they'll email you when they are working on it or if there's any problems. One cool thing you can do here is you can click here to download the design templates if you want to. Within your Canva dashboard, you can also go in right here and click custom size and change this to inches. And if you want to, you can create Supacolor transfer size templates right here in Canva. So you can just name this Supacolor 8.3 by 11.7, and then you can make one for every single size of transfer. So that way it's just ready to go in your Canva dashboard, and you're ready for that. So that's how easy it is to create a t-shirt design using Canva. Again, if you have a free Canva membership, you can absolutely do all kinds of stuff with the free membership. There are additional benefits to the paid plan, which is what I have. But I want to encourage you to play around in Canva, create some awesome artwork. I would love it if you would share it with me. You can go to my Instagram at Words and Whimsy Shop and share it with me in my DMs, or tag me in your post when you make something using this tutorial. That would be really awesome. The link to get your Supacolor transfers at Heat Transfer Warehouse is in the description below. If you have any questions about this, you can absolutely just leave a comment and I'll do my best to help you out. Make sure that you come back next week, because I'm going to have part 2 where I show you exactly what the designs look like when they come in from Heat Transfer Warehouse, and how to read the instructions that come with them and press your first shirt. So make sure if you like this video that you give it a big thumbs up, you subscribe to my channel for more tutorials and fun stuff like this, and I hope to see you next week. So take care. Bye.